we are going to create one elastic file system, and that is part of storage. We'll go to the storage and we'll click on EFS. We'll create a file system, and we are going to do a lot of activities in EFS. And then we are going to create two EC2 instances. One EC2 instances will be like EC2.1 and EC2.2, and this EFS is already created. Now we have to attach the EFS to both the EC2 instance. Now this is the EFS, and we are going to attach it to EC2.1, and at the same time we are going to attach it to EC2.2. Now this is unlike EBS volume, where EBS can be attached to only one, but here in EFS it can be attached to n number of EC2 instances. Now the same file can be accessed to any number of EC2 instances. That's what we are going to do is we are going to attach the EFS to EC2 instance 1, and in EC2 instance we are going to create one index.html. Now this file, where it's going to create on which file system, it's going to create on EFS. And once you create on EC2.1, it's obviously automatically will be seen in the EC2 instance too, because we are sharing the elastic file system on both the EC2 instance. Now if you create one more EC2 instance and attach this EFS to the EC2 instance 3, you will be able to see all the files which is created in this EFS. So that's we are going to do is now create a two EC2 instance, attach the EFS to both the EC2 instance, and then we are going to create one file. So let's do it, so you will be able to. Now for that you have to go to services and storage part and EFS. Now you click on EFS, it will take you to the elastic file system EFS, and you have to go ahead and click on create EFS. Now once you come to the EFS part, it says that first you have to configure the network access. Now the very first thing it's going to ask is VPC. Now every time we are selecting the default VPC, because we know that we have a couple of other VPC, but we are going to go ahead with the default VPC. Now what is VPC? Only instances in the selected VPC can access the file system. So obviously in this VPC, if you are going to create EC2 instance, can only access the EFS, this EFS. So every time we are selecting the VPC default for EFS also, for EBS also, and EC2 also, that means we are going to get it. Now, like I said, it's going to be a region specific. That means in Ohio region has 3 availability zone, and it's going to create in all the 3 availability zone. For that, for what reason? Because it gives you the high availability and durability. So you can it has to be created on all the AZ. Now, if you want, you can deselect it, but it's always going to be a good reason to select all the available AZ. An IP address, it's going to be automatic. Now in the security groups, you can add multiple security groups. You know that the default is going to be there. So that's the first step, configure network access. And then second, we are going to fill up the name. It says that key EFS, and here comes the lifecycle policies. Now here in the lifecycle policies, like I said, all the objects and all the files, it's going to be created in standard storage class, but you can create a lifecycle policies where you say that if my object is not getting accessed for say 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, 90 days, you move it to infrequent access, right? We have it offers two storage class, and obviously when it's going to be in the infrequent access, you will have to pay little less, because it says that automatically save up to 92% of your EFS bill. Bursting will also have a lot of throughputs. You can access many files, and you can select the bursting one, but for this testing purpose I'm going to select the bursting one. The performance mode is general purpose, because I don't want to go into the max IO, because it's going to be just for the training purpose. But if if that file system is going to be accessed for a database or application which requires a maximum IOPS, then you can always go ahead with the max IO. But I'll go with the general purpose, and obviously we have an options to encrypt your data at rest, right? It once you place your data on the EFS, you can actually encrypt it. So I have selected all these configuration file system setting. Now let's come to the configure client access. It also have a couple of options where you can attach couple of policies, disable the root access by default, enforced read only access and default. So a lot of other policies you can attach it, and as of now I'm not going to select this policies, client access policies. Then we have a review and create. It says that it's going to be created in default, and all the other options which we have just selected. I'm going to create a file system that takes some time. So here you can see that a file system is success, and EFS, this is the file name and file system ID. Its metered size is 6 kilobyte. Mount target is available now. EFS is created. Now we are going to create two EC2 instances, and then we are going to mount this EFS to one of the EC2 instance. Then only we should be able to create the index.html file. Now what's my second step? We have to create a EC2 instance. So let's do that. So both is created. You could see that both are created. Now I have to attach the EFS to both the EC2 instances, right? So two is done. Now I will go to EFS and I'll show you how to attach it. So if you see that here EFS is created, two EC2 instances are also created. Now this EFS is still not mounted to both the EC2 instances. Now this step I'm going to do it. Now how to do that? Just select this one and come down. So there is a URL called Amazon EC2 mount instruction from local VPC, right? So I'm into the local VPC. If I click on VPC, this will give you the Amazon EC2 mount instruction from local VPC. Now the very first thing which you have to do is, if you're using the Amazon Linux EC2 instance, you have to install the EFS mount helper. Now this is the command to install the EFS mount helper. That's the command, and I'll just paste it here, and it's going to install it. And the same command I'm going to paste it in the orange one also. So the first thing is done, and if it is a Red Hat, we are not using Red Hat, we are not using Ubuntu, so that's fine. Now it is going to say that you create one. Now two EC2 instances is created. EFS is mounted to both the EC2 instance, right? I have a blue screen and orange screen. So both the EC2 machine has the same EFS. Now I'm going to create one directory here on EC2 1 and EC2 2, one each directory on both. You can have same directory structure. Now it says that, say, sudo mkdir EFS. That means I am already on root user, so sudo I may not. It's fine. I can actually skip that sudo mkdir, and I can give suggest. So I have created what this suggest directory, and if I go to the blue, I'll create mkdir. Either you can create a same directory structure, or you can keep the you can make the different name. So I give cloud. So on the both EC2 machine, I have created a different directory structure, but you can create same structure. You just do ls, there is no file. You just do ls, there is no file, right? So there is nothing here. Ls is list. It's going to list the file, right? So two thing is done. Now you have to mount this client to mount the NFS to your directories. Now what the command? You just copy paste here, and just paste it here, because you have to just give slash suggest and same slash cloud. Now this is for EC2 1, and this is for EC2 machine, right? So this is going to be mounted to suggest. I have given a slash here, which is not needed here, right? This slash is not required. I'll just remove it, and I'll just copy this one and go to blue screen, and here it is. I am already in. I have this cloud. I'll just go and paste here, so that the same mount point is mounted to. Now EFS is mounted to which file structure here? The directory suggest, and here the directory is cloud. Now the EC2 instances is mounted. Now let me show you one example. If you go to suggest and create one index.html file, now say that /html. So I have created one file here, and the location is root/suggest. And here if you go to CD cloud, you are seeing this index.html file. Now why? Because I have mounted the same EFS to both the EC2 instances. Now if you come back here, and you could see that this EBS had which file? It has index.html, and you could see it in the EC2 suggest, and you can also see it in EC2 cloud directory, because the EC2 instance is mounted to both the EC2, this EFS is mounted to both the EC2 instance. For that reason only you are seeing this file. Now if you want to confirm that it's the same name, right, so this text file is created on EC2 first machine. Now here if you create one healthy.html file, insert, this is healthy HTML file created on EC2 second machine. Now I would like to ask every one of you to answer either yes or no. Now you see that I can see both the files, right? Healthy.html and index.html. Now I'm going to ask you, if I see here, if I come back here and if I do ls, how many files I'll see? Either 1 and 2. Just answer in the comment section, 2 or 1. You could see that the healthy.html file is showing here, and this is saying that this is healthy HTML file, but it's created in EC2 second machine. So in that way, you can actually mount, or you can actually show the same file to both the EC2 machine. Now let me show you one more thing. You could see that this is PWD. If I go back cd ls, and I'm going to create one file called, this file I have created in the blue EC2 instance, and it says that it's a test.txt file. Now if I go to the orange one, whether I should be able to see the same one, I am not seeing it, because I think the reason is obvious to you all, because I have created a file outside the mounted directories, right? It was not mounted on either suggest or inside the cloud, right? And you see that this is the mount file system. If you do df-hp, it will show you the mount file system. So /root/suggest is mounted to this file system, and here if you come here and if you df-hp, the same file system is mounted to root/cloud. So that's pretty much about the EFS.